Welcome to the 1 to 9 podcast for interesting insights and knowledge from animals and other beings within multidimensional realms. Hello, Diana.
Hello, Karin.
How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm just fine, thank you.
Well, that's excellent.
So who do we have as the guest today?
Well, the image of a bedraggled girl who's basically soaked.
A bedraggled girl.
Bedraggled girl, and she's bedraggled because she's completely soaked with water.
Okay.
And then, behind her is an image of a functioning heart, human heart.
A human heart. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see the blood or anything, just the mechanics of its beating.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And it looks like it's actually bringing something out one way and then the other. And somehow this is related to the bedraggled girl.
Can you explain bedraggled just so I'm clear?
It's somebody whose clothes are all soaking wet.
Okay, but she's not like sad or happy or depressed or anything like that.
Well, she's sad because she's completely wet.
Okay. Being wet can make you mad, not sad or frustrated or whatever.
Yeah, she could be all those things. Okay, so this somehow, I don't know where we're going to go from here, but they're there.
Okay, they're there, and they're obviously here with some kind of lesson or message, and is it the heart that we're going to be talking to today, or the little girl?
I think it's going to be somehow both of them.
Okay. And is it the little girl's heart, or is it a heart that maybe represents girls' hearts, or women's hearts, or human hearts?
I think the girl is actually kind of like the spirit that's in the heart.
The spirit in the heart.
Yeah. And so this must be kind of like a particular heart.
Is it someone we know?
Maybe. Maybe it's your heart.
My heart. And is the little girl me?
No, it's the spirit of the heart.
Okay, the spirit of the heart. Okay.
Like, I think at one point we were talking, not today, but previously we were talking about body parts having their own consciousnesses.
Correct.
So it seems like this is the consciousness of this particular heart, and this consciousness is embodied as a bedraggled girl.
Okay. All right. Interesting.
Right. And it seems like the water cannot really ever get out of her.
So she's never going to dry out.
Right.
There's no sun.
Well, no, but somehow, with regards to the functioning of the heart, it seems like there's something a little bit off there, and because you would expect, if the heart is wrung dry, then there's no moisture left, and then it fills up again. Yeah. You understand what I mean?
A metaphor heart, or a holographic heart, or this heart that's got the spirit with it. You think of your own heart, it never really gets dry because it's encased in blood and goo and body cells that all have some kind of moisture to them.
Right. But actually, when you actually think of a beating heart, right, blood comes in, old blood comes in, right, and then it forced out in some way through your lungs to get aerated, right?
Right.
And so once it's forced out, hopefully there's no blood left in your heart, right?
Oh, right. Okay. And this all happens with every beat.
With every beat, right.
It comes into your heart, goes through your lungs, and gets aerated and comes back into your
And if there's some old blood left in there, in your heart, and it's not forced out to get aerated, it just sits there.
So we're seeing possibly an analogy of some old blood that can't leave the heart.
Exactly, in the form of the bedraggled girl who never actually gets dry.
Interesting. So the heart isn't pumping cleanly.
Right.
For whatever reason.
For whatever reason, yes.
And are we allowed to look at the reason why? Is that why we're here today?
I guess so. I guess we're here because somehow...
This is a very interesting perspective.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, very interesting.
Right. So I guess the heart is saying, well, it looks like there's just something wrong here.
There's not efficient. There's an efficiency that's not happening for whatever reason.
Exactly.
And the efficiency, can we ask if it's like some kind of...
hopefully the girl will be able to tell us.
Oh, okay. So we'll just ask the girl. We're not actually talking to the heart now. We're talking to the girl.
The girl is the embodiment of the spirit in the heart.
Okay, so we're talking to the spirit.
We're talking to the heart.
Right. So does the girl have a name?
No.
Okay.
She may be saying something, but I can't really get it.
So can we ask the girl, well, first of all, thank her for showing up.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much, even though you're bedraggled and wet and kind of miserable looking.
But maybe we can help her.
Yeah.
That's one reason why sometimes people show up.
Exactly.
Where spirits show up.
The mud guy.
Oh yeah, the mud guy got to go home.
Mm-hmm.
So this little bedraggled girl who we can't quite figure out her name, thank you for being here. And is there a beginning message or just concern or something that you would like us to know to get kind of started on this journey how we could help?
Somehow everything that she's trying to say is like underwater.
So it's a little garbled?
Yes.
I wonder if we could bring in the lobster consciousness to help us decipher it, or the dolphins, or the whales, or the manta ray.
Right, maybe, or somehow have her wring out some of the water in her clothes.
Okay. Or help her wring it out, or anybody.
Yeah.
Wring out the clothes. And that would help her rise to the surface, so her voice would be clear?
Yeah, it would make her less waterlogged.
Okay.
Waterlogged, yeah.
Oh, poor little girl. Can we help you?
Okay, she's kind of doing that.
All right.
Yeah. And, she's got some dry clothes on now.
Wow. Don't you love that the whole like paradigm where spontaneous, manifestation is possible? That's awesome. All right. So okay. Now
her hair is dry too. Yeah.
All right. So here we are. We're drier now. Can we try and ask her for some?
Okay. So she's saying there's not enough force or energy to complete the expellation or whatever,
okay,
of all the old blood.
Is that like life force energy or electrical energy, pulse energy?
Just say all the above.
Okay.
But more electrical. And
is this why the heart doesn't ever want to be challenged, like running uphill or push too hard?
Yes, it could be. It could be. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so how does one increase that?
Yeah. Is it sustenance like food or meditation or yoga? What is it that could help?
Okay. It's infusion of some kind of powerful energy into the heart.
Infusion of powerful energy into the heart.
Yeah.
Now, since we're on this platform of instant manifestation, where would that infusion come from? Could it come from, a star being, like a home star, like Sirius? Or could it come from, the loving self or the God we know as, the love of all loves? Or is it coming from us in this room, this infusion of energy, or a Reiki master?
Okay, it can come from a variety of sources, one or several combined.
Okay.
And I guess she's saying she could facilitate that, but only to a certain degree, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she's kind of keeper of the heart. But the master consciousness, which is you.
Mm-hmm. I'm the master.
You're the one that will be asking or letting in or allowing more energy to come in there from whatever source or sources you choose.
So it's my choice.
Yeah, it's your choice. I mean, they're all equally good. I mean, none of them are bad.
Is this something that we can do right now? Well, we're on this podcast?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I know that I feel like the divine feminine energy would be very nice to be open to.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask this before I do that. Is there anything that is in the way of me allowing this in? That consistently gets in the way, or is in the way, or has been in the way, and could be released or let go of?
Let's see. She doesn't think so.
Okay.
It's basically just sort of like a loss of energy over, kind of like, say, you got a dripping faucet,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it loses water, a tiny bit of water, like every couple of seconds.
Has this been losing energy over a lifetime or over the last year, couple years?
Not over a lifetime. If that were to happen, you'd be in worse shape.
I see.
But over a period of time, which is probably a couple of years.
A couple of years.
Wow. And that's not to say it's not replenished sometimes, but the drip just continues.
Right. And is the drip going somewhere in particular? Does it go somewhere? To someone else or to others?
No, it just dissipates.
It just dissipates.
I guess so.
It's because it's been very interesting because it's been a couple years since I felt like I could push myself physically in any way. Diana tries to get me to go back to the gym, and I'm like, I can't.
Okay, but before you felt like you could push yourself.
I have, just to give you a little history on my heart, I have always pushed myself, and I used to play, aggressive sports like squash and stuff. But I did start to have heart valve problems, and so I cut way back on all my aggressive sports and really worked on, meditating more and becoming more mindful of rest and downtime and quiet time, meditation. And I stopped all competing and stuff, but I was still doing, once I got back on my feet, I was still doing a lot, dancing and things like that. But the last couple of years, which has been a big year of transition within my family, where my dad and my brother passed on, and there was a lot of periphery stuff that happened with that. And my mom is with, in a home with Alzheimer's. There's been a lot of more concentration than usual on others than usual in my life, so supporting others. So I don't know if that has something to do with it, but I have felt a lot of heartache over the last year or so. A couple of years, and which is typical during that type of thing. So I don't know, but that's about when I didn't feel like my heart was easily recoverable. I mean, when I'm sitting on a pillow doing nothing, that's when my heart is the happiest. Or running through the woods, or, sitting on a beach, or swimming with the dolphins.
Yeah, so it seems
or staring at flowers. I could stare at the consciousness of flowers for hours, and that rejuvenates me as well.
Yeah. Well, it seems like all the sorrow associated with is kind of like the drip, 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 which make the girl come. She never dries. She never dries completely.
Okay. So the dripping can be stopped by infusing myself with allowing more energy in.
Yes.
Like energy from my kitchen?
Sure.
Hello, Ellie. Can you help?
Okay, so you've got your divine feminine energy.
Right.
I was going to suggest some Reiki energy.
Okay. That would be awesome.
Yeah. And
what about my cats? Do they want to help? Can they help?
Yeah, they want to help.
Okay.
And they can help in terms of kind of like, if I say pushing the energy into your heart, it's going to sound a little bit weird, but it's that's what they're going to do.
Okay.
They can make sure it goes into the right place.
I'm sounding a lot like a cat lady, aren't I? No, cat lady.
I only have 2 cats. I don't think that qualifies you as a cat lady.
Oh, okay. Phew. Allie's looking at me like, but you still love me, right?
Okay, who else? What other kinds of energy can we get?
Well, how about the energy from the flowers?
Okay, I think you need, besides that, I think you need something a little bit more powerful in terms of its electrical content.
I see. What about the star Sirius? For some reason, that's come up recently in my...
Yeah, okay, so that would be kind of like, it's like this, I don't know how to describe it, but it's kind of like electrifying white energy.
Okay.
So
very good. Isn't it very good for me? Is that what you mean by white electrifying energy?
No, I mean that that's the kind of energy that we want.
Okay, so it's a good energy.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
All right.
So we're gonna get all these energies together.
Okay.
And they're all just gonna start working. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just line them up. You've got the Sophia divine feminine energy. And they're going to be kind of like standing around you.
Okay.
In a circle.
I'm feeling them now.
Okay. And then the Reiki energy. So I'm calling in the Reiki energy, and this is going to be, may as well use all. Not just the healing one, but also the emotional one. Oh, yeah, because there's sorrow involved here. Yes. Okay.
Okay.
And then the no time, no place one. Because again, okay, even though it's like the past couple of years, I think we don't want to place time limits on this. Okay.
All right.
Okay, so I'm calling in the Reiki energy. I'm just saying them to myself.
Okay.
The first one is Jokurei. The second one is Sei Iki. And the third one is Hansho Zei Shanen. You smell like candles or something?
You want me to go look?
No, that's fine. Okay, so we got the Reiki energy. And then the Sirius energy. It's kind of like this, not really a laser beam, but kind of like a wider than a laser beam. And it's like really electrified white light. Who else do we?
Well, we have the divine feminine, we have Sirius. What about the earth itself? Do I need something more powerful than that, like the crystalline core of the earth?
Whoa. Okay, so what you're going to do is...
That's nourishing. The earth is nourishing to humans in general.
Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to imagine your legs and feet as kind of like roots, and they're growing down into the earth.
Okay.
Then you're finally going to reach your roots / feet are going down into the middle of the earth until they hit the carbon center. Okay, and then that crystalline energy is just going to come up through your roots / feet, legs, into your heart. Okay, now it's all going to happen at once. And the cats and me, we're just kind of like pushing this stuff.
On the actual podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Now, oddly enough, I'm feeling a little release in my heart, a little pressure lifting.
It's good. And I mean, I felt like sort of re-energized too. Even though this, I think the serious energy is just basically going down into you.
Okay.
It's not going into me.
And from up in the earth. Well, I'm wondering if, anybody that listens to this podcast can use this.
I mean, if they're listening to it and they're sort of like imagining along with us, it will affect them too. And I just saw like two little white lights there saying yes.
Okay. So this is really for anyone who has some tripping in their heart. She's very astute that way. She said she wanted to be a helper kitty.
Yeah, so she's observing and also helping. Because okay, so the function of the observer is not just observing. They're also, just by witnessing this, they're also kind of like the effectiveness.
Oh, okay, by witnessing it.
Right.
So does every time someone listens to this podcast give me a boost? What does the little girl say?
She's actually quite happy.
Oh, good.
And it seems like her clothes have stayed dry.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she's not waterlogged anymore. I can't shake any water off of me.
Nice.
So, and her hair is dry too. So, there could be kind of like just a little bit of old blood that's still sitting in there.
So do I listen to the podcast again, or is it still working and it'll just take a couple, maybe more hours or days for it to fully seal in?
Well, okay, I mean, it's still working because the energies we called in, they're going to stay there.
Okay.
I'm telling them to just keep, the Reiki energy saying, okay, keep, as long as your intent is sort of like to keep that sort of intense flow of that electrifying, brilliant white light that's coming down into you.
Is Sirius, do you have an open channel to Sirius right now?
Well, something is saying yes. I don't know if it's serious, but something is saying yes.
Okay.
Maybe it's your heart that's saying yes. Maybe your heart was missing Sirius.
Well, recently I got the message that my heart was, not my heart, not related to my heart, but that Sirius was, it's like they sent me here many, many years ago and abandoned me. And they were apologizing for that, wanted forgiveness for doing that. And so we're reconnecting, basically.
Right. Maybe this is a way of them apologizing.
Or helping out at this time.
Yeah.
As,
giving you this infusion of their energy.
Right. Because if in a perfect world, they might not have abandoned you. They sent you here and they supported your being wherever you went. Because they're your family, right? Right. How many times have family not continued to support you no matter what you were doing or where you were going?
Yeah. Kind of farish away, but they're not really far away. And they're looking on. And they're really long.
Long beings?
Not beings, but beings.
Not beans.
Not beans, right? And there's like a group of them. And they've got sort of like, not bulbous heads, but the head part is a little bit fatter than the rest of them. And they do have some kind of eyes because I feel like they're looking on this. They're looking on just to see what's happening.
And are these beings from somewhere?
Yeah, they're from Sirius.
Oh, from Sirius.
Yeah.
So these are possibly some of my kin.
Good. Yes, could be. Yeah. Which is why they're interested. And I do feel like they're saying that they're sorry. Oh my gosh.
Well, my first reaction was to say they're forgiven because, that was eons ago, whatever eons means. And, they've learned a lot and I've learned a lot over the lifetimes and, it is what it is. But I don't think they fully acknowledged, my let bygones be bygones apology. And I'm glad that they're showing up right now to sort of, get reacquainted almost,
Right. I mean, they're sincere in their apology and they're glad that you're actually forgiving them.
Oh, yeah.
So
I'm kind of more excited about getting to know them than what happened in the past as a...
Oh, yeah. Okay, now they're kind of like talking amongst themselves and saying, oh, okay, yeah, we're going to get to know her. They're very happy about that. So...
I'm doing a little dance. Can't see it, but all right. Should I turn on my party lights in the room?
Well, they're expecting they're kind of like a formal kind of party.
Oh,
not right now. Not an impromptu party.
Right. Okay. Endeavor.
It is
something I've never done before.
Right.
Might have to include Diana as on the invite list.
That would be quite interesting. I wonder who else would be showing up.
I don't know. This is something. A guest list of this magnitude is because I'm sure. Well, we'll see. It'll be revealed over time, won't it?
It will be, yeah. But they're very excited about this. So yeah, they are. They're very happy. So.
Awesome. So they have a message for me and the little girl or the world or whoever's listening to this podcast or Diana that we could share, or that maybe the little girl has a message, or maybe both.
Well, the little girl is actually, the spirit of her heart.
Right.
Right. So she's basically just thankful that somehow, as she's not constantly wet anymore.
Okay. It's very simple what she has to say.
Yeah.
She's glad that the dripping is gone and the heart is capacity to pump properly now and fully.
Yeah, it's much better, but you got to keep working at it.
Okay.
It's not just one and done.
Assume that maybe I'll listen to this recording over and over again until it's done, just to remind myself of all the wonderful energies that have showed up to help.
Yeah.
We'll do it for weeks, months, whatever it takes.
And they're always around.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's no need to kind of like suffer a dripping heart for years on end. Okay, now let's deal with this energy that has dissipated.
Okay.
Because it doesn't disappear.
Right, the stuff that dripped out of me.
It's just sort of like floating around. So we're going to gather it together, and everybody's going to be helping. So wherever it is, it's just going to be gathered together, and it's kind of like tired and stale energy.
Right, and I'm gathering it up too.
Tired and stale. I mean, wherever it's gone to, and in some cases it's gone far away, we're gathering it all up. And then, the little guys are coming down, and they're taking it up.
The little guys are friends of Diana's.
Yeah, they're about 1.5, 2 feet high. And all I see is their heads, because the rest of them are these white robes. And they just come flying down, and they assist with things like gathering up the stale energy, which they're going to bundle up and take with them up into the love and light.
Okay.
And it's going to get transformed.
All right.
Okay, so they're doing
transformations.
They're doing that. And that may take a little while. It's not, again, because this is like energy that has dissipated over a period of several years.
Okay.
So they're still doing it.
All right, so that might take a while.
Right.
Take a couple days, couple hours, couple weeks.
Yeah, I don't think a couple of weeks, but
okay,
they're still going to be doing it. Okay, well.
Thank you, everybody.
Now, how do you feel?
I mean, my heart is as you know, it feels stronger. It doesn't hurt. I mean, it generally hurts, and that's it worries me, so I lay down a lot, or I think about laying down a lot, and it does not hurt at the moment. It does feel stronger.
Yeah.
I can feel it's not 100%, but I'd say the pain is dropped to, I want to say 2 to 4%, which is pretty profound. But I can see where I might have to keep, inviting in this, allowing in these energies for a little while longer to stabilize things and get it to 100%.
Right.
So, but it's pretty interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Because I've been complaining about this really for a couple of years. I have not been able to go to the gym, run very fast, push myself. Now, of course, there's going to be people listening to this that think that I'm replacing these energies with medical professions. And they might be right, but that's my choice.
Right.
It's my choice. I have used allopathic medicine as I want, and I use non-allopathic medicine as I want. It's one of the joys of being in a free society.
Exactly.
So, but it is a way, this is a helpful bit of information for me. And if somebody else can call in these energies to, maybe calm a sorrowful, dripping heart, regenerate a sorrowful, dripping heart, that would be perfect, right?
Right.
There's got to be a few other people out there in the world that feel like they're not quite, there's something wrong, but it's not like a real heart attack or anything like that.
Right. And yeah, I mean, we all have to remember that everything is energy.
I have one last question, and I don't know if this puts us too far over time, but is this what could be called like a broken heart syndrome in a way?
I have no idea. I don't know.
Broken heart syndrome is that medical condition where you go to the hospital and you're not having a heart attack, but you feel like you're having a heart attack.
Well, let me tell you.
It comes from trauma.
My father-in-law, right? His wife had died many, many years ago, and he was really emotionally involved with another woman after his wife died, of course. And he asked this woman to marry him, seeing other men also. Mm-hmm. And she didn't want to marry him. And when he found out about the other man, it's like his heart was broken. And that's when he got his heart failure, chronic heart failure.
Mm-hmm. But there's actually a broken heart syndrome where you actually feel like you have chronic heart failure, even if you don't. And for a lot of people, if they feel like they're having one, they have one. But there's also the condition where you go in there, you check out fine, and you're still like seizing up your heart.
Well, then you're not fine.
Mm-hmm. It's reaction to trauma. It's a known reaction to trauma. We feel like.
I mean, I have no medical knowledge about this whatsoever, but it would seem to me to be highly likely that this could be happening.
Mm-hmm. All right. Are we complete?
I believe so.
All right. Thank you, young. Oh, I didn't even ask if she was young. Thank you, little girl.
It's a young girl.
Okay.
She's not an old lady.
I like to think that my heart has a young girl in spirit.
Yeah.
Thank you, young girl, for being here and for working through this with us and bringing it to our attention. And it's really been amazing.
And all these energies.
Oh, and the energies that have come in to help. Thank you so much. And to Diana for facilitating.
And the serious observers there.
Yeah. Oh, my new kin showing up to play with me.
Wow. This was quite interesting.
It was indeed. All right, Diana, have a nice afternoon.
Yes, you too, Karen.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
That's all for this episode of the 1 to 9 podcast. Thank you for listening, and please sign up for our newsletter at 1to9podcast.com.